Hey everyone, welcome to Super Coin Op Brothers. I'm Jirard.
I'm Alex, and this is Rygar.
Rygar.
Classic arcade game from Tecmo from 1986. 4.5 billion years have passed since Earth's creation.
Many dominators have ruled in their glory, but time was their greatest. Oh, let's fight!
Whoa!
Oh my gosh.
And now a new dominator's reign begins.
Ha, wow. So Alex, tell me about this game, because I have no clue. I've never played it before, never even heard of it.
So it was originally released in 1986 by Tecmo in Japan as Argus no Senshi, and it's a scrolling platformer where the player assumes a role as a legendary warrior battling through a hostile landscape. So apparently the weapon that you have is called the Diskarmor.
Whoa.
And it's basically a shield with a chain attached to it. Cool?
This is kind of rad. I'm not gonna lie, it seems very sophisticated for its time.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
very ahead of its...
In the 80s, the arcades were a whole different animal. You know what I mean? Like this
very
is
interesting. Oh no.
Yeah.
But it is very unforgiving.
Yeah. So apparently,
which is what these games are all about.
According to the console game manuals, because it was eventually ported to like several from several home consoles. The Sharp X68000, the Commodore 64, the original Sega Master System in Japan, ZX Spectrum, Amstrad 6128, and the Atari Lynx. And
so I just died.
Yeah, so there's console manuals, and it says that the evil being Ligar has taken over the land of Argool, and Rygar, a dead warrior who has risen from his grave, uses his disc armor along with a variety of other weapons to stop him.
I don't think that could be a better description, because
apparently in the console version there's also like green men that like give you little bits of story, but this is the arcade version we're playing, so...
I have to say, this is an arcade game because it's designed to make you lose.
Yeah.
Like, look at how many things... Oh.
It costs so much money to like...
Was that the first level?
Get good at it. I think so.
Well, just for future reference, Alex, I think for Super Coin Op Bros, our intent is to actually try and go to an arcade maybe one day and film us playing. Because if those of you who don't know, we don't have an arcade cabinet of this game. We're emulating it because it's too hard to do that. It's too expensive.
But we're securing some arcade cabinets. So eventually we'll be able to like play some arcade games here, and eventually we know some arcades in LA, and
we have some friends who have some arcades as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna try and make this show a little bit more than just us playing emulations of arcade games. But for now, I just thought it'd be neat to like check out Rygar because it's such a classic.
Now, I've never heard of this game. This is my first time playing it.
Oh, it was on NES even. It's a classic game. It's not the same as the NES version. The NES version is like kind of like a different game.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, the NES version is like open-ended like Metroid, whereas this one is just kind of like a scroller. And like, you know, you find items and stuff, and it's like Metroid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I noticed this is something kind of rad. The bottom right-hand corner is the map of the level.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So we know how our progress is, where we're going, all that stuff.
Yeah, and this game is like just known as being just kind of like a cool hardcore game. So it's kind of neat. So apparently in the Japanese version, Ligar and Rygar are the same.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
can you imagine playing this in the arcade?
So maybe apparently in the original Japanese version what it's supposed to be is that Ligar and Rygar are the same person. And they're both the villain, and that's the name of the game is named after the villain, and that you just play as the warrior who's like trying to save the day.
Oh, you said they're the same character? They named the same?
In the American version of the console manuals, it made up a story that Rygar rose from his grave to fight Ligar, who's like taking over the world. But
Rygar and Ligar.
What it seems like is, you know, the R and L thing, and like with Japanese translations is always a thing. So maybe what So maybe what it is that this guy is just
so hard to run.
This guy's just the warrior, and Rygar/Ligar is like the bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Yeah. There's also a remake of this game in like 02.
What?
For PS2 and I guess the Wii. It also came out on the Wii like 6 years later.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
It's called Rygar: The Legendary Adventure.
We may have to play those depending on if people at home want to see what it's like.
Yeah, and in that game, Rygar is the name of the guy.
I love how he like has a little dance with the statue.
So it's so interesting to think about how like back in this time, like in the 80s, like nobody cared really what the plot was. But, you know, in the remake of the game, like they changed the plot to the thing that we thought it was. You know what I mean?
They embraced the ambiguity of the plot.
Yeah, they changed it to what we thought it was. Like now in the remake, the guy's name is Rygar, and he's like goes on this huge journey, and like everything sort of makes sense. But man, I don't know. I like this game. You could see like the parallax stuff that they were doing, which they couldn't really do in like you know, like a console game at the time, just because it required too much processing. But it really makes the game look bigger and cooler, and the animation's really clean, and the colors are very bright. It's nice.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like a very well designed game in terms of like the time and effort that went into things, you know?
Yeah.
Like each character model is pretty specific to what it needs to be. The backgrounds are pretty crazy cool. The fact that like the main weapon is you know, this
weird like
shield
thing.
throwing device. It's like Castlevania, but not.
When did Castlevania come out? That's an interesting.
This is pretty rad. Oh no!
So Castlevania came out September of 1986. Rygar came out. All it says is 1986.
Oh man!
I don't have a release date for the actual game. What I was wondering is maybe if they were connected to each other in some way.
Oh, you mean between Tecmo and Konami?
Like maybe one game saw the other game and like
got inspired by the other.
Yeah, like added some sort of whip dynamic.
I mean, this is pretty there.
That's such a weird way to walk through doors too.
I know. I was saying like hugging the statue to
just
like
turn like a big rock around, like a big pot,
and then suddenly we're in the snow area, snowish area.
It's cool.
I'm down for it. Ooh, that Mario skills right there.
Yeah. He sounds like a little boy. Whoa, doesn't this give you like sort of like a Land of the Lost vibe?
Yeah, I was gonna say Joe and Mac.
Yeah, exactly.
Reminds me a lot of that.
Except it's like not as like fun as that.
Yeah, this is a little more serious.
Yeah, this looks like it's supposed to be like.
I mean, it's just
scary.
like you can look at these demons and monsters and stuff. It's like dinosaurs, but like mutants too.
Yeah, it totally. This game like totally reminds me of something that would be on that Nickelodeon show, Nick Arcade.
Nick Arcade.
Yeah. Doesn't it though?
Yeah.
Seems like one of those weird generic games that would be on there.
Nick Arcade. That's how I knew about ActRaiser when I was a kid.
Dude, ActRaiser.
Yeah, man. Completionist episode already happened on it, bro.
I know, I was there. I love that game though.
So
ActRaiser
good.
2 would be fun to do.
You know what? I like ActRaiser 2, but I actually like the
RPG
RPG version with ActRaiser 1.
I think they could make like a pretty dope like Wii U game out of ActRaiser, where they like make you do the management stuff on the bottom screen, and then you're always platforming on the top screen, and it's like Metroid. That'd be cool.
That'd be great. I'd be down for that. ActRaiser's so good.
Yeah, I feel like they kind of maybe moved away from it because it's kind of like religious.
Like, yeah, it's also like genre combining too.
Well, yeah, but that's like the cool part.
I'm just getting rocked right now.
Ah!
Every certain part of the levels, all the enemies just blow up.
Those things look like they're Mortal Kombat.
I was gonna say very Bruce Lee.
Well, they look like you know how they do that thing where they take the picture and then they like transfer it into pixels.
I mean, look at this. This is very Karate Kid.
Yeah. Oh my god, how silly.
I
Later,
love
man.
I love that animation. It's just so ridiculous.
That like weird specter carrying you away.
Like, you've lived long enough.
Time to come with me.
Come, your soul is
okay, come
mine.
on.
Don't forget. Bonus points. So, Alex, I think based on the vibe I'm getting, I really don't see a big change in. It seems like this is
Really
like a
similar.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not really progressing through the game. You know, I feel like it's just me just running straight the whole time.
Well, we're changing like locations.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The locations now are resurfacing the same. There's not really any bosses yet.
I'm not positive there are any bosses.
I mean, maybe I'm just oh, well, here we go. Well, this is the same level backwards.
Oh.
Oh.
Apparently it has like a lot of levels, but apparently the NES version is like one of the best NES games ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Wonder how much it is.
Rygar for NES?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's have a look.
Should ask Pat. Pat has a whole bunch of games.
Pat the NES punk?
Yeah. Pat's a good dude, man.
75 bucks, 40 bucks, 15 bucks, $12.99, 40 bucks, $7 bucks,
70 bucks?
$7 bucks,
$7 bucks?
$6 bucks,
So it's pretty affordable.
$5 bucks. Yeah.
You can still find it for pretty cheap then.
Yeah, I think.
Let's get to level 10 and then call it, because I feel like this is just gonna keep going.
Sounds
and not
good
that I
to me.
don't mind it, but it's just I don't think everyone at home. I think everyone. This is why arcade games don't necessarily transfer well as Let's Plays, in my opinion, because it's like the games are meant to keep going forever. So some of them are designed just to be whoa. Ah, damn it! I don't even live long enough to use these power-ups that I get. They draw all these rad letters and power-ups and stuff, and I just don't. Like, I don't live long enough.
It's neat.
It's cool.
I feel like this is a game you can play forever. Like, I think it's supposed to be a game that you come back to the arcade and play a lot of times and like slowly learn what everything does and how it works.
It's the Castlevania of the arcade world.
Kinda, yeah. What level is this?
Number 10.
So you're gonna beat this one and then we'll
And then
call
we're
it?
gonna call it. And let us know, guys at home, what games you'd like to see us play. You know, luckily a lot of, well, not luckily, but a lot of these arcade cabinets no longer exist. And
Or it's like real tough to find one that works.
yeah, most of them are just super archaic
Yeah.
and not well kept. So if there's a game you want us to play, we probably can emulate it. If not, we'll try and go to an arcade.
Yeah.
I know that I've talked to a couple of arcade owners to try and see if they'd let the Beard Brothers come and film at their place. Most of them haven't been too keen on it, but let's be real, they're not doing any business anyways because no one's going to the arcades as much as they used to.
But I
which is
mean,
sad.
I feel like we could maybe sell them on it.
Yeah, I feel like if we're like, hey, the Beard Bros fan base would love to go to your arcade, if they knew about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, but that's 10 levels. So let's.
That's 10.
So we'll call it. We're gonna leave Rygar floating on this rope forever. Yeah, let us know what you think about Super Coin-Op Bros, and let us know what games you'd like to see us do. Talk to you later, man.
Later, man.
Later, man.